This show, along with hundreds of others from Calaroga Shark Media, is available commercial-free on any player. Just look for the link in the episode or show notes.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Romance Weekly. This episode is titled Back to School Part 3, Holiday Heartache.
The crisp December air nipped at Sarah's cheeks as she hurried into the school auditorium, her arms laden with boxes of tinsel and ornaments. The annual Winter Wonderland celebration was just a week away, and as usual, she had volunteered to help decorate. As she pushed through the doors, her eyes immediately sought out Jack. He was perched precariously on a ladder, struggling to hang a string of lights across the stage. Sarah couldn't help but smile at the look of intense concentration on his face. "Need a hand there, Cooper?" she called out, setting down her boxes. Jack glanced down, his face breaking into a warm smile that made Sarah's heart skip a beat. "My knight in shining armor," he quipped. "I was starting to think these lights were going to be the death of me." As Sarah climbed up to help, she couldn't help but reflect on the past few weeks. After the fall pageant, she and Jack had finally addressed the growing attraction between them. Their first official date had been equal parts awkward and wonderful, filled with nervous laughter and stolen glances. Since then, they'd been taking things slow, mindful of their children and their own complicated pasts. "Earth to Sarah," Jack's voice broke through her reverie. "You okay there? You looked a million miles away." Sarah blinked, realizing she'd been staring. "Sorry, just thinking about how much has changed since the last time we did this." Jack's eyes softened. "Good changes, I hope?" Before Sarah could respond, Miss Hawthorne's voice rang out across the auditorium. "Mr. Cooper, Miss Johnson, less chatting, more decorating if you please. We have a winter wonderland to create." They shared a guilty grin before getting back to work. As they hung ornaments and draped garlands, Sarah found herself stealing glances at Jack. She still couldn't quite believe that this kind, funny man was interested in her. Later, as they were taking a coffee break, Jack cleared his throat nervously. "So, I was thinking, Christmas is coming up, and I know it's a big deal for the kids. I was wondering if maybe you and Lily would like to join Ethan and me for Christmas Eve dinner." Sarah felt a flutter of excitement, quickly followed by a wave of anxiety. Christmas had always been her ex-husband's thing. He was the one who went all out with decorations and elaborate meals. Since the divorce, she'd been struggling to create new traditions for Lily. "That sounds lovely," she said hesitantly. "But are you sure? I mean, it's your first Christmas without—" She trailed off, realizing too late the sensitivity of the subject. Jack's wife had passed away just before the holidays last year. Jack's smile faltered for a moment, a shadow passing over his face. "Without Kate? Yeah, it is. But that's kind of why I want to do this. Ethan and we need to start making new memories, and I'd really like it if you and Lily were part of them." Sarah felt tears prick at her eyes. She reached out, squeezing Jack's hand. "We'd love to." The next week flew by in a whirlwind of holiday preparations. Sarah found herself caught between excitement for Christmas with Jack and Ethan and guilt over changing Lily's holiday routine. Her daughter, however, seemed thrilled at the prospect of spending Christmas Eve with her new friends. The night before Christmas Eve, Sarah was wrapping the last of her gifts when her phone buzzed. It was a text from her ex-husband, Mark. "Change of plans. I can take Lily for Christmas Day after all. I'll pick her up at 10 a.m. Sarah felt her stomach drop. She and Mark had agreed months ago that he wouldn't be able to have Lily for Christmas this year due to work commitments. She'd planned her entire holiday around having Lily with her. With shaking hands, she dialed Mark's number. "What do you mean, change of plans?" she demanded when he answered. "We agreed." "Plans change, Sarah." Mark cut her off. "I thought you'd be happy." Isn't this what you wanted, for me to spend more time with Lily? Sarah took a deep breath, trying to calm her rising anger. Of course I want you to spend time with her, but you can't just change things at the last minute. We have plans. Oh, right, Mark's voice dripped with sarcasm. Your plans with the new boyfriend. Well, I'm sorry if my wanting to see my daughter on Christmas is inconvenient for your love life. The conversation devolved from there, ending with Sarah agreeing to Mark's demands just to end the call. As she hung up, she felt tears of frustration welling up. How was she going to tell Jack? How was she going to tell Lily? The next morning, Christmas Eve, Sarah broke the news to Lily over breakfast. To her surprise, her daughter didn't seem upset. It's okay, Mum, Lily said, patting Sarah's hand with a maturity beyond her years. We can still have Christmas Eve with Mr. Cooper and Ethan, right? And then I'll have another Christmas with Dad. It's like getting 2 Christmases. Sarah felt a rush of love for her resilient, optimistic daughter. You're right, sweetie. 2 Christmases it is. When she called Jack to explain the situation, he was understanding. Family comes first, he said. We'll make the most of Christmas Eve. And hey, maybe this means you can join us for Christmas dinner too? As they prepared for the evening, Sarah tried to shake off her lingering sadness. She was determined to make this a special night for Lily and to enjoy her time with Jack and Ethan. The Cooper house was a winter wonderland when they arrived. Twinkling lights adorned every surface, and the scent of cinnamon and pine filled the air. Ethan greeted them at the door, practically vibrating with excitement. "Come see the tree," he exclaimed, grabbing Lily's hand and dragging her into the living room. Jack appeared in the hallway, looking handsome in a festive sweater. "Welcome," he said, pulling Sarah into a warm hug. "Merry Christmas Eve." As they prepared dinner together, laughing and sharing stories, Sarah felt her earlier worries melting away. This, she realized, was what the holidays were supposed to feel like. Warm, joyful, full of love. After dinner, as the kids were engrossed in a Christmas movie, Jack pulled Sarah aside. "I have something for you," he said, looking nervous. "I know we said no gifts, but..." He handed her a small wrapped package. Inside was a delicate silver necklace with a tiny compass pendant. "It's beautiful," Sarah breathed. "But why a compass?" Jack's eyes were soft as he explained. "Because you've helped me find my way again. After Kate died, I was lost. But you and Lily, you've given Ethan and me a new direction, a new hope." Sarah felt tears welling up. She reached up, cupping Jack's face in her hands, and kissed him softly. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." As they rejoined the kids, settling in to watch the end of the movie, Sarah felt a sense of peace wash over her. Yes, tomorrow would bring its own challenges. But right now, in this moment, surrounded by warmth and love, she was exactly where she was meant to be. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, Sarah was excited to see what it might bring. As Jack's arm settled around her shoulders and Lily snuggled into her side, Sarah realized that sometimes the best Christmas gifts are the ones you never expected to receive.
Romance Weekly is a production of Calaroga Shark Media. Executive producers Mark Francis and John McDermott. Portions of this podcast may have been created with the assistance of AI.
Calaroga Shark Media.